Hi, you guys. So I hope you guys can hear me. My name is Meredith, and I am doing this super quick, kind of different. You can think of it as a webinar, but I'm just casually here in my home, and I think it's great when you guys can see me and I'm talking to you. And it's really fun for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I created this PowerPoint. Hopefully, it's going to go really good. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think you guys are going to like it. So let's get started. I'm going to have to share my screen. So now you guys can see my PowerPoint. And let's get started. I'm so excited. So maybe you guys can still see me in this little up-hand corner. But I'm going to talk about 11 of the most popular pregnancy fitness myths out there, and I'm going to debunk them because I think it's so important. And hang on, let me go back. You guys, shoot. We need to start from the beginning. Here we go. Let's do this. So here we go. This is it. Let's get started. 11 pregnancy fitness myths busted. So today's agenda, you're going to meet me. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, and I'm really going to jump into the content of the 11 pregnancy fitness myths, and then we're going to just bust them right open. I have my notes here, and then I'm going to wrap it up and kind of give you like a little recap, but you guys are going to want to stay until the end because I'm going to give some little gifts, and then we're going to go over some client testimonials and what some of my girls are saying, and then where you can find me. So hey, I'm Meredith. I'm a certified fitness trainer. I'm a pregnancy corrective exercise specialist. I'm a diastasis and core consultant, and I'm an advanced pregnancy wellness practitioner. So when you meet someone in the gym and they're like, oh, I'm a fitness trainer, I'm a certified fitness trainer, you see someone online and they're talking about stuff, you guys really want to be looking for some certifications. So this is just 3 of, I think I have now 6, but I think these really sum them up. And I love talking about pregnancy fitness. I live here in, we'll go to the next slide. About me, I live in Germany. I always tell people I'm a mom turned trainer. This is important because I know what real life as a mom is like. And I have always had to work for my fitness. I'm just not one of those like very naturally skinny model shapely muscle person. I've had to work for my fitness. So I think that's a really big thing where I can really relate to my clients. And for me, it's just fitness. I love working out, but it doesn't always come easy. My family and I, we live in Germany, and this is my tall glass of water husband. He's been playing professional basketball here for the last 5 years. And it was with my first pregnancy of this cute little nugget in the stroller that I had this crazy idea to write 40 weeks of pregnancy workouts for myself to follow, which was a lot of work, but I'm glad I did it. And it wasn't until after he was born and he's had some health issues with gaining weight and hearing and speaking that I was really suffering from postpartum depression. I feel like I had failed as a mom, that I decided to act on the idea. And so here is me. I'm pregnant with my second at this point. As let's see, about six months pregnant here. And then here I am. This was like mid-pregnancy. This was like me at my fittest. But it's great. The truth is that I love helping you guys. I love teaching. I love when you're transitioning from being a woman to a mom and helping you. And if there's any way that I can, it's just one of those things that like I get up in the morning and it brings me so much joy. So here's like how many women have said like their mothers, their grandmothers have said, no heavy lifting during pregnancy. So let's go over this. 11 of the most popular pregnancy myths debunked. And before we can begin, what do you guys think about this image? I mean, these are probably 20 pounds each. So that's about 40 pounds right there. And she's pushing a sled in probably a CrossFit gym or something, and you guys are probably thinking like, wow, this is maybe like a no-go. We don't do this during pregnancy. But if I were to show you a picture of this mom, and unfortunately you can't see it from the side, but the width of this thing, I'm thinking it's a double. So she has 2 kids in here, plus this bag, plus whatever's underneath the stroller. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? She is probably pushing about 40 pounds up this incline. And what I love about this image is she's in like she's not even at the gym. Like this woman in the gym pushing 40 pounds on a sled, this woman pushing 40 pounds just in daily life. So if you were like maybe she's pregnant, we don't know, but this is what I love is like as a mom, we have to be ready to be pushing stuff like this. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my stroller easily weighs over 40 pounds when I have both my boys in it, plus my groceries, plus whatever else I'm pushing in there. So, I mean, let's get to this because I think it's going to be really eye-opening for some of you and exciting for me to share like the stuff that I've learned. So let's get going. So myth number 1 is no developmental stretching. Maybe you guys have heard this one. The next one is no squatting during pregnancy or postpartum. Have you heard of this one? No training with arms overhead. So none of this stuff. What else do we have? We have no working with heart rate over 100 beats per minute. This one was huge during my first pregnancy. No running or impact during pregnancy. Judging rate of perceived exertion by breathlessness or sweat alone. I don't know who came up with this one, but it's crazy. No hit or impact during pregnancy. No heavy lifting. We just looked at this one a little bit. No sit-ups or core work. I know this is a big one right now with diastasis being like on the forefront of every pregnancy thing. You have to give up your athlete status. How many women have heard this one? And last but not least, no line on your back. So let's go over these. So number 1, no developmental stretching. Developmental stretching shouldn't be done for more than 30 seconds. So this is an old belief because it was thought that we would overstretch and tear something. This is true regardless if you're pregnant or not. I mean, if you're pregnant or not, you should be careful when you're stretching, mind you. But it's all relative. I mean, do they have pelvic girdle pain? Were they doing it before? Does it feel good? It's definitely allowed. And if something starts to hurt, just ease up and stop. I think what was going on here was that people were thinking that, because of hormone relaxant, it's going to make things relaxant is not that big of a deal, you guys. You know what, if you want to stretch, and I definitely recommend stretching, and if you want to hold the stretch for 30 seconds because it feels good, I know especially like in our inner thighs during pregnancy, we hold so much weight there. That I didn't stretch with my first pregnancy, and after my pregnancy, like my inner thighs were just so tight and so sore that I wish I had done a little bit more stretching. So to me, if it feels good, go for it. If it starts to hurt, ease up. It's that simple. So no squatting during pregnancy. My doctor said no squats. Well, maybe if you have a low line like cervix, or if you have placenta previa, like there's a good reason he's saying that. And I think what he means is like, do not go to the gym and put a barbell on your back. But I mean, like, look at this woman. Like, she has no weight here and she's still doing a squat, because how many times a day do you have to sit in a chair? If you're at work, every time you get up and you come back, you're having to sit in a chair. Every time you get in a car, that's literally a one-legged like squat. You like have to put one leg in the car, sit down, like bend your knees and sit down, and then you bring the other leg in. So if you're on a subway, if you go to the toilet, I mean, how many times a day do you have to go pee, especially during pregnancy? Every time you sit on the toilet, that is a squat, my friend, my dear doctor friend. Like, do not tell these women, do not squat. Like, tell them, don't go to the gym and squat with a 40-pound like weight on your back. I think that's a really smart idea. But like air squats, these women can be doing air squats, because anytime you activate your glutes, that's going to help you if you have any sort of tightness or pelvic girdle pain or what have you. Like, activating your squat, like your glute muscles, is actually going to help with that pain, because you're getting them stronger, and then everything else starts to happen. So we need strong glutes. And so I don't know, like, telling women they're not supposed to squat just is so silly to me, because we sit in chairs a lot and we go to the toilet a lot when we're pregnant because, you know, the baby's on our bladder. So let's go to the next one. No working with arms overhead. My grandmother said I can't do anything with my arms overhead while pregnant. So the thought with this, I'm sorry, I'm going to be reading my notes because it's quite long. The thought with this is that placing your arms, hands or arms overhead, you increase the cardio. But this is true whether you're pregnant or not. It's going to be a recurring theme. If you're new to exercise, it can be harder, but think about your day-to-day life and how often you are lifting overhead. If you go to the supermarket, you may have to grab things on the higher shelves. If you're in your home, if you're in if you have an SUV, or even us, we have like a small SUV, I have to like reach up and grab the car door because I don't have like a little button thing. If I'm lifting my kid up, I mean, I may be like playing with my child and I may be doing this and I won't even be thinking about it. When you're home, putting groceries away, there's so many things that we do where arms have to be overhead that we shouldn't get caught up in this. And I love doing like at the bar, when I teach bar classes, I love doing like arms up, arms down, and I do this like pull down action, and it really helps to get like that cardio function going. And I think a little bit of cardio isn't going to hurt anyone, so we shouldn't be getting wrapped up in this myth. Number 4, no working, here we go with cardio, no working with heart rate over 140 beats per minute. So if you bought a heart rate monitor, I hope you keep it or you kept the receipt, because if you kept the receipt, return it. If you keep it, I mean, by all means, use it when you're postpartum for your training goals. But with this, the reality check is this is so out of date, you guys. Every woman is different. And for the trained athlete, I mean, for my husband, it would take him so much longer because he runs every single day for basketball than for me to, like, if I start running probably in about 5 minutes, my heart rate's going to be like just soaring. For him, it'll probably take him a little bit longer to get to that point. That's what I'm saying, is everyone's different. And so if we put a cap on 140 beats per minute for someone who has never exercised before, they're not going to, I mean, perceived fitness, like they may be having to work harder, but then for that athlete, they're going to have to work a lot longer. So it really doesn't make any sense across the board. So what we really should doing is just focusing on the woman and what is right for her. I don't know. What I really like using is the Borg's perceived rate of exertion, and I really need to do a blog test on this, and I can include an image. But basically, if you think that like the absolute like max is 20, and like maybe at rest is like a 5, you should be working, I would say around like a 13 or 14. Like, get your heart rate up. And if you feel like it's too much, then just take it. Like, you just listen to your body. Your body knows. Your body knows. And so no running or high impact. Now, this woman is incredible. You guys can go look her up on Instagram, and she is just phenomenal. She's an Olympian. She was also the like poster girl for Nike for a while. And she ran the 800 meter while 34 weeks pregnant. And she competed again at 5 months with her second pregnancy as well. So if you've been running, there's no reason you need to stop. Honestly, just keep going. And when your body tells you to stop, stop. And postpartum, I will do a blog about this because I think it's really important postpartum. But postpartum, you can also be running, but if you're going to be running soon, I have a client who wants to start running very early. And we've talked about it. If you're one of those people that's like, I want to start training for a race that I have when I am 6 months pregnant, talk to me. Let's set up a call and I will help get you there. However, I don't recommend it because there's just so much that needs to be healing. But I mean, Alyssa, I think her name's Alyssa or Alasia. She, same thing, like she talks about on her Instagram how she started like preparing for her race at 12 weeks postpartum. And she had everything that she needed. She had the right people working with her. She had a trainer working with her on her core. She had a pelvic, I'm pretty sure in her post, she talked about how she had a pelvic floor physio. also working with her, also making sure that her pelvic floor was strong enough, so that if you have the right people involved and you enjoy it, don't give it up. Just make sure you have the right people involved to help you so you're not hurting yourself. Number 6, judging perceived rate of exertion via breathlessness or sweating alone. So if you take 2 women, give them the exact same exercise routine, but one is a trained and seasoned athlete and the other is, well, maybe this is her first time, who do you think is going to be out of breath first? And who's going to be sweating? So to me, oops, this is just silly. We really need to look at more than just breathlessness and how much you sweat, because I am not a sweater. So it would literally take me so much to start sweating that if I was pregnant, I'd probably be working way too hard. Where my husband, he literally just starts he goes outside and he just starts perspiring. And I'm like, babe, did you just take a shower? So it really just depends. And I think this is just so silly. And especially during pregnancy, our bodies, there's been so many studies done on this where our bodies during pregnancy are designed to dissipate heat better than someone who's not pregnant. So go figure. Let me look at going back to Borg scale, just use Borg scale. And if you don't want to use the scale of 1 to 20, maybe use the scale of 1 to 10 and work around to 7 or 8. Not your max, not almost nearing your max, but at a good pace where it's semi-hard. But after the workout, you're not going to fall on the floor and be exhausted the rest of the day. You want to be energized after you work out. So the heart rate changes throughout the trimesters, which I think is really important to learn. Your blood volume also increases during pregnancy, and there's an enlargement of the heart. So if you've been training, it's almost like you've become a super athlete with the excess of blood pumping through your body and a hypertrophy of your heart and your body's ability to stay cool. Again, listen to your body. The second trimester is usually the best. And then in the third, your body goes into this birthing mode, and especially by the last few weeks. So again, if you listen to your body will tell you when it's time to start slowing down. And again, that to me is just, there's a difference between pushing your body and pushing yourself even more, and then learning when to kind of just slow down, and you can still be working out, just not pushing yourself so hard. No HIIT or high impact work during pregnancy. So instead of saying just a flat out no, because it's a word we hear a lot during pregnancy, and I hate telling my clients no, I like to work around and find what works for them. I'm going to tell you yes, but let's learn to modify. So if you are one of those girls who's a super HIIT girl, you love going to CrossFit gyms and stuff, work with your trainer or set up a one-on-one with me and send me what, every week we could do this, is you just send me what's the workout plan is for your CrossFit gym, and I can help you modify if they are not if the trainer there is just not sure of what to do. One of the things that I like to say is that you maybe modify the load of how much you're lifting and how many reps. So maybe you lower the reps and you lower the load, or you lower the load and maybe increase your reps just slightly. Find what works for you and use those modifications. I mean, to me, I think whether you're pregnant or not, you should be learning how to modify. One of the biggest things that I loved after I became a trainer was actually taking the weight down and working on my form and my ability to do the exercises correctly. And believe it or not, everything got actually more difficult and more challenging because I was challenging myself in a new way. I wasn't just always increasing my weight. I was now increasing how many runs can I do of everything? So can I go for 4 instead of I was just doing 3 and maxing out at 3 and trying to see how much weight I could lift in 3 sets. But I took the weight down and thought, okay, well, let's go for 4. Can I perfect my posture anymore? So just use those modifications and adapt. And remember, this is all relative. And if you were doing HIIT classes and high impact stuff before pregnancy, you can continue, just work with someone and learn those modifications. Next one, number 8. No lifting heavy during pregnancy. So I'm going to insert a giant laugh out loud here because anyone that is experiencing a second pregnancy knows that when you are pregnant and you already have, like, let's say a 2-year-old, you're already carrying maybe a 25-pound toddler, a diaper bag, and a stroller, and you don't even think twice about it because you're just trying to survive. So when I was pregnant with my second, I didn't even think about the fact that, like, I would be going down or up the stairs with my toddler and a diaper bag and my groceries. So to me, heavy lifting, just be careful. I think this image right here is very powerful because obviously she's doing what is called the Valsalva maneuver. And so during pregnancy, I definitely do not recommend any breath holding because this is a lot on the pelvic floor and on your abdominals. And then same goes here. I really recommend avoiding any sort of pull-ups or any sort of like any kind of ab work where you're having to like lift your knees up to your chest or like lift them up to like this hip height. Again, that's just really hard on the abdominals, and breathing wise, it's not safe during pregnancy. So just those are definitely like the two no's that I'm going to be telling you right now. But I mean, when you go to the gym, lifting, like having 2 10-pound weights in either hand, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to be bad on your pregnancy, and it's life. It's daily life. And so to me, when I tell you in the 40-week fit plans, like use 8-pound weights, that's not shocking to me. If I have a mom who's been training really hard, I may even tell her to go up to 12-pound weights in both hands because she's been training. She's been doing this. When I do like dead squats or anything, go up to 20 pounds. See what it's like, you know? If you're going to be picking up your child and you already have a toddler, chances are you're going to be picking him up out of a bed, off the ground, what have you, maybe out of a car seat, and picking him out of his car seat and putting him on, like if he can't get out of the car seat by himself. That is 25 pounds that you're lifting out of a car seat. I'm the same. So don't be afraid of the weight. Just be careful. No sit-ups or core work. I know, like I said, this is a big one with diastasis, so you've heard this one. And this is kind of the first one I thought of besides the 140 beats per minute. This is the first one I heard of when I became pregnant. And I thought it was because I was going to hurt the baby. But no, there's no real good reason behind this. And there is a way to do it right. So if you book a one-on-one session with me, and sometimes I offer if you buy the bundle, sometimes I will, and if you would like, I will schedule a 30-minute consult with you just to go over the belly breathing. And the belly breathing is so, so important because you can do planks during pregnancy, no problem. But you need to learn how to breathe. I definitely don't recommend going into a plank if you don't know how to correctly activate the core. Correctly activating the core and connecting to it throughout your pregnancy. And it's just so important. So really quickly, just inhale, fill the belly, exhale, and contract and lift those abdominals up and in. And you'll start to feel more integrated throughout and maybe even stronger. No sit-ups. Sit-ups really, whether you're pregnant or not, sit-ups do not, they don't do anything for us other than maybe even whether you're pregnant or not, make that separation of the linea alba, which is where that diastasis is. Just don't do sit-ups. But core work, on the other hand, there's a correct way to do core work. So if you ever schedule something with me, we can go over it. Giving up that athlete status. So I wouldn't say I'm not an athlete per se. I played polo. I've never gotten paid to be an athlete, but if you feel like you are an athlete, and I think there are so many of us, I'm a professional mom athlete. Let's just put it that. I'm a mom, and I lift those kids all day long. So I'm here for you, and I'm here to tell you, you do not have to give that up. I can teach you how to modify. And you do not, I feel so terrible for the women that feel like they have to sell their soul to motherhood. That like once they have babies, like they can't go back to their CrossFit classes. And that's just so silly to me. Because this is, like I just showed you this picture when I first started, like this is what motherhood looks like. put a stroller in here. And this is any mom that's had to push a stroller up a hill. I mean, at the zoo in my hometown, there's this hill, and I mean, every single mom is just pushing. So imagine if she knew how to push, and she can activate her core, activate her leg muscles, and voila, there's a great workout there for you with your kiddos. So no lying on your back. This one's really interesting to me because I think this is actually still a very popular one. And how many of you have maybe woken up on your back and have panicked because someone has told you, oh, don't lie on your back after 16 weeks? And how many times would you just want to lay on your back on the couch and like put your feet overhead because it feels so good at the end of the day? Well, did you know that you could? This is because, like, okay, so lying on your back, the reason why they say no is because of the supine hypotensive syndrome, where the vena cava, which is the vein in your back, is going to be compressed by the weight of the baby, and this can result in a reduction of blood pressure and change your heart rate, and potentially you could pass out or faint. For some women, during pregnancy, they find that they wake up on their backs. So unless you are feeling dizzy or faint, or you're here for 20 minutes or more at a time, it just depends on the woman. So I loved putting my feet up during pregnancy. One of the things I would do at the end of the day, just to kind of have all the blood come back to my heart, is I would lie on the couch, put my feet up overhead, and lie there for maybe, like, I would love watching The Big Bang Theory. I would just watch an episode of The Big Bang Theory on my back with my legs up overhead, like this beautiful woman right here. And it felt great. And I didn't feel dizzy. And if you do start to feel dizzy, just roll over onto your side. If you're in an exercise class and they tell you to lay on your back, lay on your back. Don't do it. Tell them if they want you to do like crunches or something, don't do that. But laying on your back is great. I really don't have a problem with it, you guys, unless you start to feel dizzy or faint. Just don't do it. So that sums it up. Again, we're going to go over a few things that I think we should be avoiding because we debunked the myths just now. But let's go over some things that you definitely shouldn't be doing during pregnancy. So like I said, crunches or oblique work. And the reason why I'm including oblique work here is because so with the diastasis, you have your muscles, and if those obliques get super strong and tight, what's basically happening is they get tight and they start to pull the six-pack abs apart, creating a distance in that linea alba. And when they create that distance in the linea alba, the little like space between the six-pack abs, it's this tendinous sheath in between. That's that diastasis. So to avoid it, like furthering a diastasis, I really recommend you kind of cut out the oblique work. And so just avoid anything with the weight during, like, body weight planks are okay if done minimally and you know how to be engaging your core. Twisting or bound poses, I love a good yoga practice during pregnancy. And if you can find a prenatal yoga practitioner, I mean, go. But make sure that you're not twisting or doing any bound poses, because, like, I don't know if you maybe know what a bird of paradise is, but it's like where your legs up and you're completely twisted and bound. It's not great for your core, and you could be compressing something we just really don't know at this point in time. So maybe things will change. Maybe they do some research on this, but right now it's no-go. And props can be used to accommodate for your growing belly. I think yoga is just fantastic. It really works on the breath and causes you to be more mindful, which I think is super helpful when you go into labor. Another one is breath holding. Remember, I showed you a picture of this girl. So definitely no Valsalva maneuvers while pregnant, as this does damage to your core muscles and can make a diastasis recti worse. It also affects the pelvic floor muscles. So your core and your pelvic floor are all interrelated, and this type of breath holding is not good. So just don't do it during pregnancy. And that's it. So you can expect a 40-week fit, just my little self. Providing with research, research-based education. I love this. I'm going to kind of go more into education, I think, and teaching you guys more, because I love this. This aspect of it is so much fun for me. And I hope to help you guys. And I love humor. To me, I think motherhood is like, sometimes we can be too serious about it and too hard on ourselves. So I like to make things a little bit more light and being funny about them. And life, let's be honest, life is crazy. And it's so much better when you have mom friends who know who you are and what you're going through in this life. And share with me. I want to know where you are from. So like, here we go, 100%. Roughly 60% of my clients are somewhere in the US, but then 40% are from women all over the world. I have Skyped with women in Argentina, Belgium, Canada, England, France, Ireland, Taiwan, Serbia, South Africa, Sweden, Switzerland, and I'm in Germany. So you can imagine I have talked to women all over the world. And I just picked up a new client in India, and she's the cutest thing ever. And I want to know where you guys are from. So tag 40 Week Fit in your posts or in your stories so I can see which of the myths you are busting, and you can let me know where you're from. I love, love, love to know it. As I mentioned, this is Germany, and this is where we live, just smack dab in the country. And believe it or not, and like Berlin's up over here, Bremen is in here, Oldenburg is in here. I believe Cologne is somewhere in this area. So we are pretty much 3 hours from everything, and it's fantastic. We live here for about 10 months of the year while my husband is in season playing professional basketball, and I am still learning the language. And for the first few years of when I was running 40 Week Fit, I was totally embarrassed that I was living this like nomadic lifestyle, that I really didn't share that I lived in Germany. But now I embrace it because I totally feel it's what makes me unique. And I have met some really wonderful people. Like, I have the most incredible group of girlfriends here who are so supportive. And I just say, like, one of the things I have learned from living over here and meeting all these incredible people is when you have a community supporting you, it's when it feels like home. And so I think a lot of us, we do travel a lot, or we may be in a new location. I have a girlfriend who lives in California, but she lives about an hour and a half from her hometown, and it's been really hard for her. And so she's created her own online community on her Instagram, and she said it's made it feel so much like home. And so if that's you, just reach out to me and let's connect. So now is your gift. Yay! So let's go over this. So usually my trimester plans are $48.99. But because you watched this and you watched to the end, I want to give you a special little gift. It's not going to be $48.99. It's going to come out to be like roughly $39, and I think like 19 or 20 cents or something. So that's huge. That's about $10 off. And the coaching call that I was talking about, usually I charge about $90 for an hour and a half. And I'm very like, if we go over an hour and a half, that's perfectly fine. Or if we want to split it up where you want to do like maybe 45 minutes one time before labor, and then you want to do 45 minutes after, I'm good with that too. And instead of $90, that's $72, which is wow. And then this is a big one. Oh, and the coaching call, I also include one trimester in there. So whatever trimester you're calling me in, I'll include that trimester. Or if you're calling me postpartum, I will give you 4 weeks of like the postpartum workout, so that you actually like, we can talk and discuss, and then you actually have something to go with that. So if you're thinking about getting a trimester, I highly recommend going with the coaching call, because you'll get the trimester and a coaching call on top of it, which is huge. With the bundle, it's not $150, it's $120. So this is all 3 trimesters plus my postpartum plus a 30-minute coaching session. So this to me is like, just go for it, because why not? Like, you get the whole plan, a coaching call, and I mean, it's a no-brainer. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Use these codes. I'm going to be looking out for them. And then here, these women actually aren't my clients, but I wish they were. They're gorgeous. But this is what my little friend Tiffany said. She said, I really love the 40-week fit workouts during my pregnancy. For me, it was a lifesaver and the reason why my pregnancy went so well. I did all the exercises until the evening before I delivered, 37 weeks, and I gained only 8 kilograms, which is about 16 pounds. And my body was actually stronger than before my pregnancy, especially my arms and back. Those 4 times a week were those sessions 4 times a week were my moment I could take care of me and didn't feel pregnant. I had control over my body and felt strong. That's why I never missed a session. And you guys, she really never missed a session. And even postpartum, she's still going strong. So now this is Christina. And she is just so cute. I love her. She found me literally right before, I think she had a month left. And I'm so thankful to have discovered 40-week fit. I found the program and started in my, here we go, 34th week of pregnancy. Even though it was late in my 3rd trimester, I'm so glad that I started the program. I feel stronger and empowered during the workouts, and I have received incredible support. I also received help and support in the healing process postpartum. Yes, because she had started so late, I really wanted to make sure that she knew what she was doing postpartum. So it's never too late to start this program, and I highly recommend it. Thank you, Christina. So here's where you can find me. I'm on 40-Week Fit on Instagram, and you can always email me hello@40weekfit. And thank you. So I'm just going to leave on this slide, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was so much fun for me to share all of that with you guys, and I'm going to start, I hope to do more of these. I hope I get good feedback. I love that you guys can see me, because I think that's just such a big point, is that when you see the person you're training with and you guys get to know me a little bit better, and that I talk with my hands, and I'm this crazy mom. I have this mat for my boys. You can see I have tickets over here for my husband. That I'm a regular mom. I'm just like you guys. I'm wearing this shirt. I'm so open to just being a mom. So I hope you guys all have a great day. And that's it. Bye-bye for now.